Hello, welcome to ArtzieRush. It's Lizu here, and in this video I am going to show you guys my very first sculpture, since I have been making stuff with polymer clay for a year or so now. So I think it's about time for me to make a sculpture of my own. And this is for a friend, Adeline, as you can see from the bib. So this is for her birthday, but her birthday already passed, and I thought, well, why not still make it just for her. And it's also a great motivation for me to start making one, since I have been slacking on making a sculpture. So Adeline, my friend, she got this drawing of this pig on Google. I don't know who the artist is, but the credit goes to that person, to the artist, not me. I basically took the 2D drawing of it and then made it into a 3D, just, sculpture. So I'm just going to talk some information about the sculpture, and then I will show you guys some process photos that I have taken while I was making this, which is not a lot, because once I start making stuff, it's hard for me to stop, but I try to take as many photos as I can. So I will show them to you. Also, I will tell you guys about the materials that I've used to make this sculpture. So just let's get into it. So as I have mentioned before, Adeline got this drawing from Google, and the artist was so amazing for making this drawing. And Adeline just loves pig, and the drawing is really cute, and I thought, yeah, I could make this into a 3D object. So the drawing was only a frontal view, which is 2D, and then in order to make it 3D, I have to use my imagination, what knowledge I had of a pig, and then I just basically sketch out the side view of it and then make it into a 3-dimensional. So, and then for this, I also added an apple, since Adeline loves apple, and I just add a baby bottle here because this is a baby pig, and I thought it would enhance that image. So yeah. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you guys a close-up of the sculpture. As you can see, it's not a really smooth surface, as sculpture is you can see bumps, and then here's the tail. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So from there you can see this is the original drawing of the pig, and then later I use aluminum foil, just crumble it up into a bowl, and then just make the hollow, pretty much the interior skeleton for this pig. There are two positive things about using aluminum foil. First, it makes your sculpture really light. Second, you don't need to use a lot of clay, so it saves you tons of clay when you use aluminum foil for the interior. So after the interior is done, I just add clay to it and just keep adding it. And then the body parts come into form. There will be a lot of smoothing, and you will see a lot of bumps. So one of the tips that I got from Jackie, you guys all know she's from Nerdy Crafter, and she told me that if you want a pretty smooth surface, it's good to put it under the light and then see where the bumps are, and then just fill those bumps in to make the surface less bumpy. So as you can see, there are still bumps here and there, and it's not perfect, and this is my very first try. So there are a lot of things that I learned from this. So another thing I learned from this sculpture is that I made the pig without using a wire, and when I put the pig sitting on the base, and the pig actually came off because it's not strong enough after I baked it, and it just broke. So I used super glue to glue the pig back on the base, and it's hard to see where the cracks are, but but there are cracks, and I try to minimize that, and which is good if you cannot see it, because that's my point. After I smooth out the surfaces and add more details to it, I just baked in the oven for about 15 minutes at 275 degrees. Just put it in my home oven. I did not make the bottle and the apple right then. They are right out of the colored polymer clay. So I made them separately, and then I just glazed them and then glued them onto the finished sculpture. So I got this from Michaels. This is the base. Basically, it comes in this kind of color because it's wood, and I basically just painted it a dark brown, which makes it more rich. And they come in different forms and different sizes. And then the clay I used for this pig is Living Doll Super Scopy. I got this from the Blake Art store with a 40% off, so it's not that bad. The price isn't bad. Also, you can use this, which is from Michael's Craft Store. So this works too, and I am going to use for my next sculpture. And of course, I have to finish this one too. So after baking the sculpture, I let it cool in the oven with the door open a little bit. So just to let it cool slowly and to prevent from cracking. So after that, I used this primer to spray onto the sculpture, and it's a Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Flat White Primer. And it goes on plastic, wood, metal, and more. So clay is fine with it, and I used it, and I thought it would dry really fast, but it didn't. It actually says right there that it takes about 24 hours to dry and to fully dry. So yeah, so spray this a day before painting. So I got this at Home Depot, and so far it's not bad. It just makes the painting a lot easier, for the paint to go on the clay a lot easier. But if you can find this at Home Depot, you could also use Acrylic primer. You can find them at Utrecht. I didn't see them at Blake. So after the primer is all dried, I have to use paint. So the first brand I got is this Americana brand, which was suggested by Jackie also from Nerdy Crafter. The price is about $1 or something. It's very liquidy, so you have to apply several coats for it to become really opaque. And then the next one I found that I got is this Craft Smart, which is also at Michael's. And this is about the same quality as the Americana one. And it's a lot cheaper. It was around 50 cents each. And it was pretty good. That's why I got this Craft Smart instead of Americana. And Craft Smart works just fine. So I got several more bottles of this. Next I got this the Blake brand from Blake Art Store. It's matte acrylic, and it's a bit thicker than the other two, which is not ideal for sculpture. So you won't have a smooth finish with the painting. But I got this way before the other two, so I thought, why not I finish this bottle and then buy the other ones. But it works okay. And then there will be several different brushes. So this is the one that I use, and this also an angle brush, which I don't have it with me right now, but it's pretty dirty. So just have several different brushes. I got this from Michael's Craft Store. Last but not least, I use the Ceramic Coat Delta Creative matte interior varnish, just to seal the painting from chipping and stuff like that. So this is just like a protection for the paint, and I got this at Michael's. So it costs around $7 something. So with that varnish, you can see that it's a bit shiny, but not too shiny. So this is it, and this is all I had to do for this sculpture. And I am thinking making more sculptures in the future, and I don't really like this process because it takes a long time, but I think at the end it's worth it, you know, because you get to make your own sculptures. And thank you for watching. Bye. Mwah.